Interested in making your own plant based medicines? The elderberry is for you. The berries can also be made into jelly and wine. Elderberries are vigorous and grow quite quickly. In this video, I will tell you how to get them started and make a simple elderberry extract. The beautiful flowers of the elderberry can be cooked and eaten as well. Here is fried tempura. They make delicious fritters, tea, or wine. Just remember to limit your flower harvest so you get a bountiful berry harvest. Hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel. I make videos on organic gardening, wildlife conservation, and nature education. Keep in mind that elderberries cannot be eaten in the field, like these yummy strawberries. All parts of the elderberry are toxic and must be cooked before ingesting. This is the elderberry we see east of the Rocky Mountains in North America. It's a deciduous shrub that likes plentiful sun and grows between 10 and 20 feet in the wild. They work well on the homestead on the outside edge of your orchard or in berry plantings. I like to plant them along fence rows because they produce suckers and will form a dense hedgerow if you prune them. There are several domestic cultivars that produce larger fruit and have high levels of vitamin C. Adams is a cultivar that has done exceptionally well for me. It is well known as the pie elderberry variety and produces medium sized, juicy, semi sweet purple fruits. They are good sized bushes that grow 8 feet tall and do well in moist areas. Adams does well in zones 3 through 9 and is widely available. John's is a tall, cold hardy variety and produces tart but very flavorful fruits that work well in elixirs as well as jams and jellies. Very vigorous plants, they will ripen about 2 weeks later than Adams. Elderberries need cross pollination, and Adams and Johns work well together. Before planting, know the pH of your soil. Elderberries like slightly acidic soil at 5.5 to 6.0. Do a soil test if needed. There are several things you can do to lower your pH, such as cottonseed meal, peat moss, coffee grounds, and gypsum. In a minute, I will show you my secret sauce planting recipe. Let's get planting. You will need a wheelbarrow, a shovel, and possibly a couple of good helpers. Most times, when you order elderberry, they will come as a bare root plant. When planting elderberry, dig a hole twice as deep as the roots. Put the soil in the wheelbarrow to make it easy to mix with the amendments. It's important to take the time to prepare your soil. This is my secret sauce recipe that I use when planting perennial fruits. Mix into the soil 1 gallon of peat moss, 1 gallon of aged compost, 2 cups of bone meal to support good root growth. And for elderberries, I add 2 cups of cottonseed meal to acidify the soil while adding nitrogen. Elderberry has shallow roots, so you will need to keep it well watered the first year. It likes soil that is moist. Plant elderberries 8 feet apart. Both American and European elderberries cross pollinate, so they need another variety. That's why I recommended at least one Adams and one Johns, but you can look into what grows well in your area. Elderberries are insect pollinated, so encourage your insects. No chemicals. Check out my video on the loss of insect populations. While we are talking about gardening and self sufficiency, check out my book, Kick the Grocery Store Goodbye. It's available in Kindle Unlimited and on paperback on Amazon. I don't fertilize my bushes, but I do spread about 2 inches of compost around the plants in early spring. I think elderberry syrup came into its own during the pandemic. However, it has been long respected by herbalists. WebMD states that elderberries are full of antioxidants and vitamins, which support our immune system. They may lessen inflammation, help with kidney problems, and help relieve stress. However, there is a debate about how effective it is for severe flu and coronaviruses. It is a diuretic, so care should be taken if pregnant or chronically ill. I have several recipes in the website article that I will link below. Making elderberry syrup is pretty easy. Remember, cooking is important because they contain cyanogenic glycosides. These toxins are rendered harmless through heat. Cyanide dissipates at temperatures of 78 degrees Fahrenheit or 26 degrees Celsius. In addition, I like adding honey and shredded ginger to mine for taste and an additional level of antioxidants. The honey also acts as a preservative. Start by removing the berries from the stems. You can freeze the berries to make this process easier. Also, it's best to make small batches so that it doesn't go bad in the fridge. Rinse off the berries after you take them off the stems. Another trick is to use a fork to separate the berries from the stems. Pick out any green berries as well as those stems. Place 8 cups of berries in a pan. Add 1 cup of water. The juice and the berries will add to the liquid. Heat over medium heat until the mixture simmers, so enough to see a few gentle bubbles. Add half a cup of shredded or ground ginger. Stir it frequently. You can press the berries against the side of the pan to help release their juices. Allow to simmer till the liquid level is reduced by half. That's probably going to be at least 15 minutes. When done cooking, you will want to strain your berries through a sieve to separate them from the juice. Add a small amount at a time to the sieve and take a spatula to press the berries to allow more juice to come through. Avoid mashing the berries against the sieve. You don't want clumps in the syrup. Also, depending on your sieve, I tend to clog them up. So you might need to be removing the berries as you go. After straining, add your honey. If you added 8 cups of berries, you will want to add 8 ounces of local honey. This will add flavor and act as a preservative. Vegans can substitute agave syrup. Pour the syrup into a dark glass container. You can use a small bottle or one with an eyedropper if you have young children. This needs to be refrigerated and should last about 2 months. Don't throw away those spent berries. You can still use them for tea. Refrigerate them up to 1 week or dehydrate them to save for later. Elderberries grow wild throughout the US and Europe and often grow prolifically in wild areas and city parks. They are a plant that can be foraged if your locale allows. In the US, we have an eastern and western variety. Make sure you have a positive identification of the plant before using it. Elderberry is also an important wildlife food for local songbirds and other wildlife. The flowers attract butterflies and bees. Game birds such as quail and turkey feed on the berries, as well as deer, squirrels, and bears. Depending on where you live, you may attract bluebirds, mockingbirds, red breasted nuthatch, orioles, woodpeckers, or tanagers to your yard. You will need to net the bushes if you don't want to share. Elderberry has a rich cultural history in indigenous populations. In America, the use of elderberry dates back to 1300 BCE. Not only was it used for a wide variety of medicines, the wood was used for musical instruments. Check out my playlist on growing medicinal and culinary herbs. Please give this video a thumbs up so that more people can become garden addicts like us. Thanks for watching and have a sunny day.